Chapter 21. Princess Freya and others were dumbfounded when they saw Zeal defeat Arygos with just his words. Previously, Arygos looked very strong and toyed with them as he pleased, but now he was laying helplessly on the ground. Even Arygos' subordinates didn't have time to react when their commander was suddenly dropped to the ground. So where should we start? Zeal said indifferently to Arygos. What do you mean? Arygos found it difficult to speak due to the pressure released by Zeal. In that case, I get straight to the point. What are you looking for in this kingdom? Zeal narrowed his eyes at Arygos. Do you think I'd tell you? Quick, release me, or you and this king will perish. Arygos laughed and threatened Zeal. Did your courage to say that to me come from the two demigods over there who had been quiet from the start? I did nothing. Zeal pointed to the sky above Alba mountain range. What? Arygos widened her eyes after hearing Zeal's words. Not only Arygos, but everyone who heard it was shocked. Demigods were true gods, like existence on a glorious continent, but Zeal said there were two of them who came to the place. They all trembled in fear upon hearing his words. At the same time, they were more afraid of Zeal. He could tell where the demigods was hiding, and said it calmly. Amazing for a human being. You're great enough to know where are. Isn't that so, Ashel? Yeah, it's more or less so, Arsbel. Suddenly a voice came from the direction that Zeal pointed. The space and the place destroyed, and two people suddenly appeared. After they appeared, Princess Freya could feel that they possessed extraordinary power. The two of them had a similar appearance. They were both brown-skinned and had long, white hair. The thing that stood out the most about them was their pointed ears. The only difference between them is their height. The tall man who carried a bow was named Ashel, while the short man carried a spear named Asbel. And turned out to be two mixed races creatures. Are you guys the result of an experiment? Zeal said as he looked at them from top to bottom. What do you say, pest? Ashel became angry after hearing Zeal's words. He opened his 9-hour seals with two-headed snakes pattern. Asbel also did the same thing as Ashel did. Ashel had the same number of hour seals and formed as him. Do you think you can suppress me with that power of yours? You said about the gods' domain earlier. Is this an organization of fallen gods in this age? Are you one of the results of their experience to create the perfect power being? I can see that you are half divine race and half elf, but for an experiment result, you are not that strong. Zeal stepped on Arygos' body, and he exploded instantly. What? Ashel and Asbel were shocked after hearing Zeal's words. They felt that Zeal knew very well about their organization. In the Fallen Gods experiment, to create a new, powerful race was being secret. Since hundreds of years ago, no one knew about it except the divine race and the people associated with the experiment. Those associated with the experiment will be given a contract spell to prevent spreading any information about it. But the person in front of them knew about the Fallen Gods experiment and made them wary of Zeal. Princess Freya and the others also felt suppressed after hearing Zeal's words. Princess Freya gritted her teeth after hearing the facts. She was angry with the experiment the fallen gods had done. What? The strongest new race? Does that mean you are experimenting with using people on this continent? Princess Freya asked unconsciously. This has nothing to do with you, pest. A shield started instantly at Princess Freya, and an arrow slowly flew towards her. Temple Doom. Princess Freya quickly created a barrier around her, but the barrier was like a piece of paper piercing by a sword. The arrow shot straight at Princess Freya's head without anyone being able to stop it. Princess Freya will die instantly if it hit by the attack directly. Princess Ariana screamed and tried to hold the arrow with her body, but she won't have time to hold it back because the arrow was too fast. Princess Freya could only close her eyes and resign herself to her fate. Before the arrow hit Princess Freya, it suddenly reversed its direction and headed towards Zeal. Then he calmly caught the arrow between his index and middle finger. The Princess Freya dared to open her eyes because she was curious that the arrow still hadn't hit her. When she looked around, she saw Zeal catching the arrow between his fingers. Are you indeed the man who was destined for me? As predicted, Princess Freya said softly. Then she smiled sweetly while looking at Zeal's face. Who exactly are you, Ashil? Narrowed his eyes at Zeal. His previous attack was enough to kill a saint or sage because the arrow contained the power of a demigod. But Zeal caught the arrow easily. He began to feel the threat from the person in front of him. Aren't you talking to me? It isn't polite if you suddenly turned your attention to someone else. What if you answered the question and I asked this person earlier? Zeal said as he pointed at Arigo's body below. What do you mean? Asbel held his jet black spear tightly and was ready to attack Zeal. Are you still going to pretend you don't know anything? Alright, I'll get straight to the point. What were you looking for until he brought the origin beast? Do you think I won't find it if you hide it amidst magical beast? You're naive. Zeal pointed at the giant beast in front of the two-headed dog. The thing that distinguished origin beast from the magic beast were the magic circle mark on the monster's forehead. Moreover, the origin beast were 10 times more sensitive to objects emitted magic aura. Origin beast. Princess Freya tilted her head in confusion as she knew nothing about the monster. You know about origin beast too? Who exactly are you? There's no way anyone in this kingdom know much about it. Attack him together. Asbel was taken aback by everything Zeal had said. He ordered all his subordinates and magic beasts to attack simultaneously. Looks like I have to find out by force. Zeal sighed and flew into the sky. He stopped right in front of Ashil and Asbel. Princess Freya and the others were shocked when they saw it because they knew that people who can fly in the sky have the power of a magic king or raise wings. Suddenly the space around Zeal trembled. The 9 magic seals on Zeal's body were opened, and at the same time 9 circle seals also appeared in the air. A magic chain connected the magic seal and the air to one Zeal's body. Each of the chains connected a pair of magic seals. Clank. The sound of chains breaking echoes in the sky. Mana and aura spiraled and soared into the sky. creating a thundercloud. Hundreds of red lightning flashed with a deafening roar, like an incarnation of a dragon descendant on the continent. In that case, the extermination begins, Zeus said indifferently. Chapter 22. Clouds of lightning covered the entire Silva city, or orphans, the entire territory of the Argent Kingdom. The red lightning kept striking the land like it was endless. On the other hand, Zeal calmly gazed at the dozens of magical beasts and winged man approaching him. A pale grey light suddenly enveloped Zeal's body. The butler uniform he was wearing changed into a long black leather armor with a bone-like ornaments from his spine, shoulders, neck, and both arms to his fingertips. Divine dress. Princess Freya was shocked to the core. She reached that way because she knew the divine dress from an ancient book she had read but had never seen in person. Divine dress is a suit of a war armor whose color and size matched the wearer. The divine dress had an extraordinary durability because it was a god-rank artifact. Every attack under demigods will be nullified. Is it a divine dress, Princess? Ariana asked curiously after hearing Princess Freya scream. Yes, I'm sure it's a divine dress. Where did he get that? The bone ornaments on his armor was similar to Aisha's bracelet. Princess Freya nodded at Ariana and pointed towards Princess Aisha's wrist. Princess Aisha's body suddenly trembled. She came back to her senses after hearing Princess Freya's words. Then she looked at Zeal, who was currently dealing with thousands of magical beasts and winged man. I'm sorry, Zeal. Princess Aisha kept muttering her apologies with tears in her eyes. I'm sure Zeal doesn't blame you, sis. Princess Alice hugged Princess Aisha to calm her down. Princess? Yes, Princess. I'm sure Zeal can understand. Siesta agreed with Princess Alice's words, although she had some doubts about it. Princess Freya just looked at them normally. She would help the two of them to calm down. Princess Aisha, but this time she did nothing and smiled a little instead. You have a divine dress. Attack him at the same time. Don't give him a chance to attack, Asbury. You go attack him from the front, and I will support you from the affair. Ashel ordered his subordinates. He also started making plans to attack Zeal. Ashel sounded tense and a little scared from his voice. Zeal stretched out his hand and pointed at the magical beast horde. Red lightning gathered at his fingertips. The monster horde, and he winged man, senses and the danger from Zeal's actions, and wanted to avoid it, but it was too late. Thunder beam. The compression of the red lightning at Zeal's fingertips shot out in the form of a laser beam. The hundreds of magical beasts and the winged man and the attack trajectory instantly evaporated after the laser was fired. Princess Freya and others could only open their mouths wide after seeing the sight. On the other hand, Aisha, Ashil, and Abzil froze as their hundreds of magical beasts vanished instantly. But Asbil quickly came back to his senses and was already behind Zeal. He thrust the tip of his spear into Zeal's head, but Zeal only tilted his head to dodge the attack. After that, an arrow shot from Ashiel's towards Zeal's heart. Unfortunately, Zeal had disappeared from where he was and appeared behind Asbil, who attacked him with a spear. Then Zeal gave him a light punch in the face. Asbil was blown away hundreds of meters until he crashed into a mountain. Boom! The tremors from the collision were felt throughout the Sylvest city. Asbil. How dare you do that to Asbil? Die! Ashiel roared at Zeal and shot an arrow at him. Ashiel's attack suddenly turned into thousands of golden-colored snakes. Snake punishment. Thousands of snakes attacked Zeal simultaneously. Some of the snakes wrapped around Zeal, and some of them shot poison at him. Die by my snakes. Ashiel laughed happily at Zeal's state, but his face suddenly shifted. A giant red lightning bolt fell from the sky onto Zeal's place, and eradicated all of the snakes at once. Damn, you can even do that? Attack him together. Ashiel shouted in shock. Then he commanded tens of thousands of magical beasts behind him. Annoying. Zeal sighed and then disappeared from his place. He suddenly appeared amid the magical beast horde. Zeal opened his palm, and lightning gathered above it to form a ball of energy. Then Zeal grabbed the energy ball and clutched his fist. Thousands of red lightning spread out in all directions and destroyed hundreds of monsters around him. Tender fireball. What the hell are you? Ashiel screamed in surprise after seeing what Zeal had done. Asbil quickly got up after being blown away towards the mountains from the Zeal's punish. He intended to attack Zeal again, but he didn't dare to approach him, where he saw thousands of red lightning bolts. What kind of battle is that? Isn't this more of one-sided massacre? Princess Freya and the others were astonished at the way Zeal fought. Meanwhile, Princess Aisha was silent. She didn't focus on the fight, but Zeal's face. Siesta and the Princess Celeste were getting worried, seeing Princess Aisha's condition. Ashi, we have to attack him with full force at the same time. We still have tens of thousands of magical beasts that can help us. Asbil proposed his plan to Ashiel. You're right. And apart from that, I still have that special arrow given to me. If we hit him with that arrow, I'm sure the divine dress won't be able to withstand it. Ashiel agreed with Asbil's plan and prepared to launch his next attack. Alright, I held back his movement for a while, and that time he should be able to hit him with that arrow. Asbil disappeared from his place without waiting for Asbil's reply. Amid the magical beast horde, Zeal didn't know what Asbil and Asbil were planning. He suddenly felt an attack coming from above him. Zeal calmly watched the attack without doing anything. Spear. Poisoning. Thousands of spear shots around Zeal and formed a formation from each spear. Came a chain and bound Zeal. The chain locked every part of his body. When Zeal could not move, the place in front of him suddenly distorted and an arrow appeared right before his eyes. But before hitting his eyes, the arrow stopped. The arrow didn't stop by itself, but because Zeal caught it. His hand was scratched from stopping the arrow. Zeal will be seriously injured if the arrow hit him indirectly. With Zeal's current strength, only a true god could harm him, but the arrow could scratch his palm, and I proved that it was no ordinary arrow. What? Ashil and Asbil shouted in shock at the same time. They didn't expect Zeal to easily break free from the spear poison and catch the special arrow that the leader have given him. Dimensional arrow. You have good stuff. It will be troublesome to fight the two of you and those tens of thousands of beasts alone. So I also had to ask for help, Zeal said softly, and he released his aura and mana simultaneously. Siryu, Kusaka, Byako, Gensho, manifest. Four Mephis creatures amalgamated from the lightning cloud with thunderous roars, ready to start a fight.